Welcome to Conversational Currency Live. This is the fastest growing platform that focuses on the value and importance of social skills for business in the digital era, told through the lens of today's business and thought leaders. Now, I'm your conductor, your navigator, the Lord of LinkedIn, the Sultan of Skype. I am Shad Didi Laser, but today it is not about me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about you. It is about financial literacy. It is about investing. And today I have brought on the fastest growing voice, personality, and influencer that not only talks the talk and gives you the insight, but has a vastly growing portfolio that you need to know about. So without further ado, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your journey.
Hey everybody, my name is Ogechukwu Madu. I'm a first generation Nigerian American, and I'm pretty much just born and raised in Houston, Texas. My journey has been an interesting one because I'm in a transitional period right now. And so 29 years old. But as far as a little bit of a background, like I said, I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. Went to school in San Antonio, the University of Texas at San Antonio, graduated with my electrical engineering degree. After that, I went to work in a small town in West Texas for about a year and a half, and then got a job at a refinery down here in Texas City, which is like the outskirts of Houston. And during that time frame, I was also able to get my MBA at Pepperdine. So as far as the degrees goes, I have it. And as of November of last year, I have completely got out of the workforce. So completely full-time, 100%, entrepreneur. And it's been an interesting experience and kind of doing this transition. So kind of, happy about how it is, mentally free from, being in that corporate world of always having to answer to someone and things like of that nature. But it's one of those things where I knew I had to break free, before 30, before I felt like I'm stuck there for, the rest of my life. So definitely interesting experience, and I'm glad to be on the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we are here with Ogechukwu Madu, and we're going to discuss the journey. Now, you mentioned that you were in corporate America, but as with many of us, we have these ideas that keep us up at night. Now, and those ideas ultimately turn into entrepreneurial ventures. Now, when did you first catch the entrepreneurial bug? Was it a YouTube video? Was it something that was always in you? Well, take us down that journey of like you're there. How'd you go in that direction?
To be honest, I think it's just something that is innate. I think it was something I was kind of born with. And then on top of that, for example, my mom, she owns her own small home healthcare business. So that was always something that was there. But the interesting part about that is that while she owns her own business and would be considered successful, is interesting to see because like she wants us, the kids, to kind of be like get a job and have the safe secured. And me being in that world is like your job is not secure as you may think. So she would rather me kind of like have that job and things of that nature. But as for me, I just had that innate thing to always work for myself. Even as I was working, I've always been on the side working on, doing things with real estate, investing in the stock market, writing personal finance books, starting my own, fitness line, now, beard care line. So I've always done stuff where it says, you work from 9 to 5 and your 5 to 9 is when you it's from 5 to midnight. I've been working this thing. And an interesting journey or perspective that I found is, I was trying to do it the right way where my side hustles kind of matched what I was making in salary. And then I'll be like, okay, cool. I'll be done. I'm out and I'll be able to make it. But the thing that I have found is that well, at least for me, it didn't happen that way. As much as I would like to have done it the right way and have to supplement my income, I couldn't do it that way. And to be honest, with me now being out of the corporate world, that allowed me to focus full time 100% on these different ventures that I have versus, me waiting until after work. Now I'm kind of tired. I still have to work out and keep up with the personal health, fitness and health and all that stuff. So it's like you have a minimal window to truly work on a lot of these passion projects that you have. So now that I don't have to worry about, a different job, now I can focus on my day and, dedicate a certain amount of time on all these different projects instead of, just a few hours every night.
Excellent insight. Now, you mentioned that you are a Nigerian American, and for my audience out there, many of which are from Nigeria and many countries throughout the continent, when the entrepreneurial bug hits them, even if they are a success, when they go in that direction, it is disappointing a parent, a tradition, or the best wishes of the parents, many of which want the wishes for, let's say, a conventional path, educational driven, or certain career paths, which involve years and years of school. Can you, and we're using this as a template for our listeners to take this and rewind to this part and say, listen, Ogechukwu Madu did it. So can you share with us the discussion that with family that led to you getting the blessing to move forward with your current path?
I don't know if it was exactly blessing, but the thing is, like I mentioned, my mom would prefer me to, have this job and be stable. The thing that I had to relay over to her while, I was an engineer and all that, like those were good jobs. These are things that they would like for their children to be. And to be honest, like my whole life, I've been that path of, doing things like the right way as a Nigerian parent would like to see. But now I'm finally in a path where, I have to choose what's best for me and my happiness. And to be honest, doing the work as an engineer, that wasn't something that made me happy. Now, while I might have been good at it and, it pays good money, at the end of the day, or what I'm realizing now is you still need to be happy doing what you're doing. And so for me, it's like I decided to choose happiness and understand that I'm still dedicated. I'm still a hard worker. So I have the wherewithal to make this work. And so, like I said, with my mom, it's just one of those things where they're from a different generation. So that's what worked for them. Having that stable job and all that stuff, like that's what worked for them. But we're in a new generation. We're seeing it now. You're relying on a job, but all the stuff with COVID, you get laid off. Now what? So if you don't have other means or other ways to make money, you're going to be stuck. And so, like, I think this is just a great opportunity for me to show what I got. And to be honest, like this is just another path for me to show this way. Whenever back in 2014, I was a year out of college, I went ahead and bought my first house. Now, I didn't tell my parents about this at all. The reason why is because I knew that, particularly my mom, she was going to be like, no, you shouldn't do it. Like all these reasons why I shouldn't. And my mentality has been, let me go ahead and do it. And then I'll tell you afterward. That way there's no excuse. There's no way to negate what I did. I'm showing you that I can do it. That there's no issue for me to do it. So, like I said, parents, they mean well, but sometimes they don't have your best interest in heart, even though they think they do. Only you know what, your best interest is. And so for me, like I said, like with this entrepreneur route, I'm up to 10 doors now. some of these things you just kind of have to do it, and then show your family members after. And it's just kind of to a point. Like for my dad, for example, he just trusts me to do what I do. They're all proud of us. Like they were able to put off me and three other siblings. We all went through college. We all got great degrees. They're living the dream as far as like they can be proud to boast about us to other people, to their peers. But in general, like my dad, it's gotten to the point where with all this stuff I've been able to do, he trusts that I'll be good, I'll be fine. And with my mom, it's just one of those things is where when I get to a point where, monetarily, I feel like it makes it all worthwhile, she'll kind of understand and kind of like relax a little bit more. And it's so crazy because she's an entrepreneur, like she owns her own business herself. But it's just one of those things where I think that in her head, she just wants her children to kind of like be happy. So yeah, with that, I just took it as, when we had the discussion, I'm completely out of the corporate world. I don't feel like going back. Me going back is just going to disrupt what my purpose is. My purpose isn't working for someone else constantly the way that I was. I have all these grand ideas and things that I put forward where I have these companies that I'm able to build up. Now I have the time and effort to put everything I have into these companies. So allow me to do that within this, first year or two, and make the mistakes that needs to happen. Because to be honest, when I was out of the corporate world, it took me 2 to 3 months to adjust from working all those years, waking up at 5 and, working out before work. Like it was an adjustment. So for about 2 to 3 months after quitting, I was like resetting and I didn't know what to do because I'm a typical person. Like I'm a type of person that is structured. I have to have this here. And, for 2 months not really doing that, that was an interesting experience, but I was able to snag back into it and hit the ground running. So, so with that, I've been able to, have this event that I'm hosting here in August. That's a wealth building event that's real estate and stock related. And with that, having speakers all over from connections that I made through social media come in. Like these are big names, with the Aisha Seldins, the Erica Williams. They will be down here in Houston, Texas to kind of spread their knowledge and just allow people to get different ideas. Like if you're in the real estate industry, you would now be able to, kind of like learn from the different speakers how to make money in the different sectors, how to invest in mobile homes, how to wholesale, how to crowdfund, how to become a developer. Like these are how to be great in short-term rentals, Airbnb. I have the speakers that are going to be giving out the knowledge during this event. So, over time, like over these past couple of years, the power of social media has definitely helped and has allowed me to create an event similar to this, that even through the times of COVID, where we'll, obviously be taking safety measures and precautions with providing masks and, hand sanitizers and practicing social distancing with the type of room we've got, we'll still be able to spread the knowledge to the people that had the means and wherewithal to actually come and be a part of the conference.
Now, very, very powerful themes here when it comes to family, knowing when to communicate, meaning communicating through your actions and results versus, hey, mom and dad, I'm doing this and there's no track record. And also the power of social media in putting together a power summit. Now, when we look back on this moment, what we're going to realize is that for someone viewing this right now, they are looking to make a decision. And when someone makes that decision and they attend the event, it's going to change their life. Can you, for that person that's on the fence, can you share your journey in terms of how building networks with the like-minded people, some people who may be further ahead and just thinking on a whole nother level, how that has helped you level up, especially in transitioning from corporate to 10 doors and beyond.
Yeah, so as far as networking is very, very powerful. I personally myself feel like I'm one of those people that can network with anybody. It doesn't matter, what kind of job it is, whether, what people would consider low level, where it's like a cleanup crew or whatever, up to the CEO. Like I was able to get the CEO of my old company to write my recommendation letter for for grad school, for my MBA school. And the cool thing about that, he ended up being the guest speaker at the graduation. So it's cool to kind of see him, because I ended up leaving the company after that moment. But the fact that I was kind of like network with someone like that, the scale is there. I'm like a chameleon. I change the whatever room I'm in, I'll be able to kind of like maneuver my way through that. So networking is really, really big. And then with social media, that's allowed to do, or to make that gap come even closer, like even just me and you, like through Twitter. Twitter has been huge these last 2 years. I came across, your content. I'm like, every time I see him tweet, I'm like, this is great information. So, we had a consultation, earlier last year, and just been able to kind of like implement some of those tools to become successful with what I'm doing with in terms of Black Seed. So with that, here's the thing about networking. You can't force your way into networking with someone. You have to provide value. And, one of the ways I've been able to do so was, in a sense, always give things out for free. So I started an investment club, a stock investment club back in 2017, where every single month our members pulled 50 to $100, a little bit more sometimes, every month, and we purchased shares of stock in the stock market. Now, over the last 2 years, and mind you, this is all for free. I didn't charge a fee or anything for this. Over the last 2 years, we've been able to grow a portfolio to just touch six figures to earlier this year. Back in February, right as COVID was hitting. And unfortunately, due to COVID, the platform that we were using, they ended up having to, kind of like cut the funding to that. And so we would have to have found a different brokerage to go to. But instead of doing that, I ended up just kind of like allowing everybody to get their money back. So at the end of the day, with that stock group, if you stuck with me, you made 46% return on your money while you're growing it, while you were learning the habit of, in a sense, paying yourself first, because you were now been able to put away a little bit money month over month, growing that habit of putting that money away. And now you've seen a return on your money more than, if you had it in the bank. You learned a little bit more about the stock market. There are people in the group that never knew anything about the stock market, and then once they joined us, they've been able to create their own personal accounts to grow their own funds. So being able to say, yeah, I was able to be a part of that has been nothing short of amazing to me personally. So with that, now if I want to kind of like reach out to other people, I have something I could show that, this is a guy that actually takes action. There's no issue with that when it comes to him. A lot of people, unfortunately, they think that if you just, DM someone and come in with zero value, that, whoever they're DMing is supposed to just drop everything in response to them or give them all the information that they need. But one thing you need to recognize is you can either purchase a product that this person has, and be like, okay, I read your thing, or, follow the instructions. Maybe these are some questions that I had. That person will be more likely to respond to your message because you have, one, supported them, two, you're taking action on some of the stuff that they're talking about. A lot of people haven't taken that action, and they say they want people to kind of like mentor them. That's the wrong approach. You need to show steps, or you show actionable steps of you trying to pursue whatever it is you're trying to accomplish before you want someone to come in and help you. Because when the time comes, the person that needs to help you will appear. So networking is huge. Don't force the issue, but you can always put yourself in the room where you need to be. And unfortunately, for some people, they think it's, monetary wise, and you have to pay to be in that room. But hey, money is a tool. You need to use it to progress yourself, progress your life, progress your family. If something costs $10,000, but it's going to propel and change your life for forever, you might as well do it. So just kind of like understanding your risk tolerance, and just making the best decision that you can that will support you and support the people that rely and depend on you.
Okay, so Conversational Currency, we are live with Ogechukwu Madu and going through the ins and outs of financial literacy investing through his unique story and journey. Now, take us deeper into the Black Seed Summit and let us know when it is, where it is, what we can expect when attending this event.
All right, yeah. So the Black Seed Summit is a wealth building conference that my company is hosting August 7th, which is in 2 weeks, in Houston, Texas. And we're having people who are, thought leaders in their industry come in and be able to share their story, give actionable advice to the people that are the attendees. And on top of that, you're able to now, if you're an attendee, you now have a way to talk to some of these people that are millionaires that have done the things that you're probably looking to do. We have people that have made millions in the stock market, have made millions. It has millions of worth of assets under management with their real estate portfolio. We have people that have made six figures in investing in mobile homes, growing their portfolio with short-term rentals. So like as an attendee, you can expect to listen to these thought leaders and get this advice to where maybe you're good in one section of real estate, but you haven't thought about another sector. And now that you experienced it, you can now deep dive in even more. And maybe you now have a mentor that can teach you how to deep dive even more. So it just kind of gives very different levels to how you can make money through real estate and through the stock market, because we do have speakers that will kind of go deep dive into their analysis with being a financial advisor, and just kind of like how to grow your money within the stock market as well. Because like I said, it's a wealth building event. We have someone that has a portfolio of trucks, so they'll be telling about their story with that. They've grown their business through six figures off of YouTube. So they'll be discussing like how different things like that. So with this wealth building event, you're going to be in contact with a lot of high intelligent people, and you're going to be around other people that feel the same way and trying to extract that knowledge so that they can best support their family and themselves as well. And like I said, we're providing all safety measures. We're capping the event at 100 people. We're about a quarter there now. So like I said, we're providing masks to everyone. We're checking, we have hand sanitizers. We're providing lunch and, a little bit of swag as well during the event. And if anything, like if you can't come to the event, we do have a replay that will be available with every single speaker. So that will be available for purchase as well. All the information that I've pretty much spoke about and where you can buy the tickets will be at blackseedsummit.com. And it's going to be a great event. I'm very excited. This will actually be my first one. With COVID, unfortunately, it's not going to be as big as I want it to be, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll still be a very impactful and inspirational event. So nailing down the final details this upcoming week, and it's gonna be a great event. If you can make it, I'll be happy to see you there. And
Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone down the path of the journey of Ogechukwu Madu in some powerful themes in terms of knowing when to take the right step forward. So this is the story of a man who has checked off the boxes and done the right thing, but there was a greater calling within that led to him breaking the mold that was set and branching out into entrepreneurship, investing, and building a community of like-minded investors. In many ways, his story is the journey of the seed, in that what we have the opportunity to do in the Black Seed Summit is for those of you who have heard that investing is the path forward, or you've tried many paths and it may have not worked for you, or you didn't have the right path. Now you get to connect with the thought leaders, the investors who are leading the industry face to face, in person. They are there to serve you through their presentations and also the conversations within, so that the seed that's within you to step forward to be greater can be watered, nurtured, and ultimately grow so that you can be all that you can be. There's time available for you to book your flights and take the step forward in order for you to take part in the growth of this event, which will definitely spawn into bigger and better with the like minds and the powerful minds that will be associated with this event. So on behalf of Ogechukwu Madu, I'm Shadidi Laser. You've been tuning in to Conversational Currency. Thank you for your time.